welcome back to my channel. So today, so Nomad Cosmetics, I believe that is the full name. Yes, Nomad Cosmetics recently had a big sale. They had an Earth Day sale. Was it Earth Day sale? Pretty sure it was an Earth Day sale. Whoa, I'm losing it. But anyway, they had a sale and they were giving 20% off. And I'd been looking at some of their other palettes. So I recently used Nomad for the first time. And I used the Ireland Wild Atlantic Way palette, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I was like, it's beautiful. I loved how everything applied. I was like super excited about it. So I was like, you know what, I can't wait to try some other things from them. And then they recently had the sale, and I debated. I did, because I was like, do I really need more palettes? And these are older palettes, but I was like, you know what, debating, like, am I gonna really like them? You know, is their old formula similar to like their newer, you know, is it similar to the formula in that palette? Has it changed at all? Because I'm not super familiar with the brand. So anyway, I went on and I was like, you know what, let's just do this. So I purchased a few palettes, with one being the release right before the Ireland palette. So I did finally purchase the New Zealand Stargazing palette, and this one I debated over for a long time, and then I just decided not to get it. I was like, I was on the fence, and I was like, I'm not really sure about this company, yada yada yada, a whole thing. But when I saw the green one, the Ireland one, I was like, oh, that's it. That like drew me in, so I bit the bullet and I got it. So with this sale, I went back and was like, you know what, it's on sale. I get 20% off. It's so pretty. I really can't wait to use this pink, and this blue look pretty. Even this like peachy pink up here, the gold. So I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not just do it? Like, let's go ahead and do it. But it smells funny. Does anybody else's? I feel like it's this color too. I feel like it's this pink down here, but it's got a shift to it. Both of these do. This blue one has a shift, and so does this pink one. They both shift, but it has a very potent chemical smell. It's what's it smell like? I've been sniffing it for a while, trying to figure out what it smells like some kind of cleaning product. Oh, I know what it is. It's the oh, this is so weird. It's the, is it Method? Is it the Method cleaner, the bathroom one, the spearmint one? That's what it smells like. If you've ever smelled that cleaner, I'm gonna put a picture of it right here, because I can't remember if it's Method or not. So, and I'm not gonna know until I go back and edit this, because I'm not gonna stop now and like look on my phone as much as I want to. But if you've ever smelled this, you'll know that is what that smells like. It is so potent, because that has like a chemical smell, but it's like they tried to cover it up with like the spearmint, and it's like, it's just so overpowering. I couldn't do it. So anyhow, let's get on with it. I did get the, what is this? I don't even know what this says. De Monteverde Bosque Nuboso de Monteverde. I don't know. I got this palette because I thought it was super pretty. And this actually is a lot larger than the other palettes. So I did get this one. It's super pretty. I was like, look at the array of colors. You know, guys, because I have a problem. I can't just pick like one thing and roll with it. And then I got the Royal Europe one because, come on, why not? Look at the blues. There's some greens in there. But I was like, I think I kind of went through. I like to tell myself, hold on, dial it back. Look at the front of this. This is so neat. It's so dimensional. It actually has 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of like these cutouts layered over top of each other. I thought it was really neat. But I went through the palettes because I had a lot of them in there, and I was like, we are not doing this. We are not doing this today. We're not buying all these palettes. I got the Hudson Valley one, and you know what drew me in? Were the pumpkins. No, it was just the whole fall vibe as a whole. So those are the 4 palettes. So I honestly felt like given the palettes I was looking at on their website, these 4 palettes gave me a broad enough range of color that I wasn't getting palettes that had similar things, so to speak, in them. So I felt like, okay, let's rein it in. I picked 4 palettes. They all seem to have a different palette, like super bright and colorful, the toned down fall. This I just wanted because of the new shimmery whatevers that are in it. Designed on location, gazing up at the night skies in New Zealand. There's something with these, the shades in there. And then I just thought the Royal Europe gave me a nice addition of color. So either way, I just felt like these 4 palettes kind of touched on every color scheme that like I would want from the company. But I thought today, sitting down, I would get in and use the New Zealand palette and just kind of chit chat with you guys. And yeah, go from there. And each one I feel like, so going through, I also feel like each palette, which was really neat, is infused with something different. So this New Zealand palette says it's infused with Manuka oil for smooth and a crease-proof wear, and it's got those 6 twinkling multi-chromes and 9 stellar mattes. And then the Royal Europe one is infused with rosehip oil to help hydrate and condition the skin. So it just, as I was going through each one, I felt like they each had something different to offer, and that's why I ended up going with those 4 palettes. But anyway, I thought I'd play with this one today, and sit here and chit chat with you. So if you want to listen to me ramble on about what I'm doing this summer, because I know I need to catch you guys up. If you want to listen to that and watch me play with this palette, then just keep watching. So as I get talking, I might not be too in-depth with the color. I'm not like exactly what I'm doing. I'm not really sure what I want to do. I know I want to use one of these at least. I really want to see what this one looks like because it looks super pretty. So I don't know. We're just going to get started. Let me go in with this one here. I'm just going to pick that up on my Morphe E13 brush. So let's see. So that color is going to be like super light, more towards my skin tone. Maybe it'll just even it out over my eye. So anyhow, there has been a lot going on. I don't even know where to begin. I guess I'll just begin with the beginning, right? So my job that I absolutely was like, I love, they decided to come back in and be like, hey, I was out of town. So I was out of town taking my mom home for Easter and get a message that these changes were coming through. And I was like, what the heck? Like, the boss, nobody in the administrative side decided to call me. I was hearing this from a friend, like, slash coworker, was like, hey, they've decided that we're all getting new pay plans. They're no longer going to pay us hourly. They're going to pay us by, like, unit and, like, all these changes. And I was like, what the heck? And they were like, it goes into effect next week. And I'm like, I'm not even going to be here. I'm going to like be out of town. Like, you're just springing this on me. You're giving me one day. And they're like, you need to sign this paper. Like, it has to be done tomorrow. And I'm like, you're not even giving me 24 hours to like even process this. So again, I hadn't heard from anybody. This is me like kind of going through everything, thinking about it or whatever. And I get to work and then I say something to the admin people and they're like, oh, we don't have that. It comes from the owner, blah, blah, blah. So it was all this stupid run around. I finally, the one girl was like, oh, there's a folder for you. So they gave me the folder with the new pay plan, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, shit, what am I going to do? Because I'm already losing money now. The way that it's getting paid, I'm only there 2 days a week. I commute like 45 minutes. I was like, I'm already coming in at a net loss. Like, if I change this new pay plan, I'm already losing money. So the gears started already like going, you know, turning for me. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I need to consider. And I'd already thought about cutting down my hours there because I was just kind of getting tired of the commute, and it just, the vibe in the clinic just wasn't it anymore. A lot of like my coworkers were all moving on or moving to different clinics and whatnot. So I'd already had some like reservations about staying there anyway, even though I absolutely love the outpatient, my patients and all that stuff. Like things just were starting to like kind of go downhill. So I start trying to figure out like what I'm gonna do. So then I'm like, oh, Now, granted, all this time I've been calling it poop job, and I will say the boss that hired me, she had left, she was gone. The other boss, the original boss, took over, and then there was some more change in staff, and like things have really calmed down. And the staff that is there now in the therapy department has all kind of like come together. We all get along. We all like it's a better vibe in the building. I'm not saying that the building itself is any better, but getting along with all your coworkers really makes it tolerable, you know what I mean? Especially when you have the same things. So it's like the whole dynamic of both jobs all of a sudden shifted, and I found myself being like, wow, maybe I really do need to come to, poop job full time. I need to stop calling it poop job. So we'll call it the closer job. So I started thinking about that, and I'm like, do I need to come to this job like full time? I'm going to go in with this color here on this Morphe M506. See, this is why I don't do Chatty get ready with me's, because I have a hard time talking and doing things at the same time. So I started considering, okay, what am I gonna do? So I started talking to my boss, and I'm like, the closer job, and I'm like, hey, what do I do, blah blah blah. And he's like, go ahead and negotiate. He's like, but the area manager isn't the best, like you're gonna have some resistance, you just need to stick to your guns, blah blah blah. Well, we were going back and forth, and they wanted me to take a pay cut, and I was like, I'm not taking a pay cut. Like, you guys cannot find a PT to be in here. Like, I've been here, you've had 2 PTs in here, and they both quit within a week. Like, I'm not taking a pay cut to sign on full time. And they're like, oh, well, they're not going to come up on the price, blah 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 blah. So it came down to arguing over like $2 an hour, which is like super stupid. It's like, just give me what I want, because nobody else wants to be here, and I'm actually considering staying, blah blah blah. So I figured they would try to make me an offer to keep me, and I'm like, well, you guys don't care. And then it came down to it, like, why should I care more about keeping this place staffed more than like the managers, you know what I mean? So I started to get like really frustrated, and at this point I felt like, okay, now I'm being backed into a corner. Like, I'm losing money at one job, and now the job that I didn't want to be at, they're wanting me to take a pay cut. So therefore, I am now in a position where I am losing money from both places. So what am I going to do? So I'm talking to my boss or whatever at the closer job, and I'm like, I'm going to start doing interviews, whatever. So I set up, I had quite a few interviews, and we're going back and forth, and I wasn't feeling it. I was like, I am not particularly feeling what is happening right now. Like, I don't feel like good about this, not with any of the interviews that I had. And I'm going with this one. So I'm just still kind of like considering it, like, what am I going to do? When you get like panicky and you feel like you don't have any options. I don't like feeling like I get backed into a corner, because then I panic, and I don't like feeling like that. I don't like feeling confined. I don't feel like I have no way out type of thing. So then I start thinking kind of like random stuff. And so I start telling my husband, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a travel job. Like, maybe I just need to back away from both jobs, take a travel job. And we had gone to the beach one weekend, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll take a travel position at the beach. Like, that's what I'm gonna do. So I start looking into that, and I'm like, I've never done a travel job. I'll go to the beach, kids can come stay at the beach for the summer. Like, it'll be a lot of fun. These are kind of things I'm thinking. And I start like dabbling into that whole option. I reach out to a travel company, because I'm like, I don't even know like how that works. You have to work over 50 miles away from like where you live in order to take a travel job, and they're supposed to give you like a housing stipend, whatever else. But I'm like, I don't really know. I don't know how much things have changed, since COVID or whatever. So I'm like, let me just reach out to a company and see. This color's kind of patchy. So I'm just kind of like, let's just see, what they have to say. Well, they ended up not getting back to me in a timely manner, and somewhere in this time frame, I'm thinking about my mom, and then I was like, hold on, I have a license in the state, where my parents live or whatever. I had one, and I get back on, and I let my medical license for that state laps or whatever, because I was like, I don't need this, I'm not going to use it, whatever. And I get on and I'm like, I gotta redo the whole application process again. And I was like, well, this is super stupid. So I'm looking around at jobs in the state where my parents live, and it dawns on me, instead of going through the whole application process, I contact the physical therapy board and I'm like, hey, you know, here's what's going on. And I was like, what about a compact license? Because there's different states that you can work in that will allow you to work under your home state license, but be in a different state. And they actually are one of the compact states. So it ended up being that I have decided to go stay with my parents for the summer because my mom is not doing well. When we took her home for Easter and everything, in that time that she was here and in the time that we took her home, we found out that she's actually in stage 5. She's stage 5 kidney disease, and I didn't even know there were 5 stages. I thought there was 4, and I didn't even know that she was that bad. So with doing all of this thinking and all the back and forth, and then figuring out that I can do a compact license and getting on and looking for jobs, once I started that whole thing in motion, within 24 hours I had my compact license, I had the approval. I didn't even have to take like the laws and rules. They were like, we're just gonna waive it because you've already had a license here, go ahead and get it. And I had a job. So within 24 hours I had my practice, I had my license, and I had a job. So I was like, this is where I need to be. So I am actually getting ready to pack up and be up there. I have another week and a half at the job close to here, and then I am going to stay with my parents for the summer. My 9-year-old is going to finish 3rd grade, and then my husband is going to bring her and the 4-year-old up, and then they will stay with me, and then we're just gonna kind of figure it out and go from there with passing them back and forth. My husband will come up and visit. I'll have to come home. We're about 6 hours apart, so my parents live 6 hours away from us. But I just have a lot of emotions to it. There's a lot in my head. I'm like, on one hand, I'm super excited. I'm excited to go up there, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like an adventure, you know, whatever. But then on the other hand, I'm like really sad if I really think about it, because I'm like, I'm going up there to spend the time with my mom, because I know being as medically sick as she is, even though you can carry on a conversation with her, she'll tell you she's fine, she can still get up, she can walk around, she can do these things. Being in stage 5 of kidney disease and knowing the inevitable is going to eventually happen, I don't know that time. I can't say whether she'll live for another month or whether she'll live for another 5 years. Like, I don't know. Obviously, can I say it won't be 5 years? No, I cannot say that. I'm not in control of that. But I can just say that inevitably, as it's coming down to it, I don't necessarily think that dialysis is going to be an option for her, because when I did take her up there, we had to set up dialysis training. That is really pretty. I don't see a whole lot of the shift on my eye, but that color is really pretty and it went on really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and get it wet with my spray. We did take her to dialysis training, and she does have some short-term memory issues and some other health, problems. She has asthma, she has COPD. So, if any of you are in the medical field, you would probably look at her medical file and be like, yeah, she's sick. Like, she's got a lot of things going on. And I think just learning all of this, it just made me realize, and I'm like, it was a hard realization to come to, that I'm not ready to live in a world without my mom. But given that I have the option to be able to change my job for 2 to 3 months to take like a travel position up there and be able to go home and spend that time with her, I was like, I think that's just like the best thing to do. And then it gives me more time with her, and it gives my younger kids time with her, because they didn't get time with her like my oldest one did, when we were all in Florida together. So I know it's a good, I know it's where I need to be. I know it's what I'm supposed to be doing, but I also have a lot of reservations about leaving my kids for the few weeks that I'm going to be leaving them for. And I know their dad is going to be able to take care of them and handle everything he needs to, but I've just never been away from my kids for more than 10 days, and that was when my mom was in the hospital and she ended up getting COVID, and she had really high levels of carbon dioxide, and anyhow she was in the hospital for a while, and I had to go up there. And it's not that I had to, I wanted to be there with her and help her through that. So that was like the longest I had been away from my kids. So I have a lot of reserves about that whole process. So it's kind of like, I'm excited because I get to spend the time with her. I'm sad because I understand the time that I'm spending with her is going to be some of the last time I get to spend with her, and then I'm just kind of sad about leaving my kids for like that little bit of time frame, and then I just don't know how it's going to go with the little one up there because we still have to pay for daycare here. So he's going to have to kind of go back and forth so he can still be in daycare because I am going to be working, and then, you know, I'm going to have some help up there, but I just don't know how the little one's going to do being up there. So there's just a lot of things. You know, part of me is excited to have a little bit of a break. Do I need a 2 to 3 week break from the kids? No, I don't, but I feel like it's going to give me a little bit of time with my mom, just me and my mom, and, you know, my dad's up there or whatever. And I think it's just, I don't know, is what it is. So that is what I'm doing. So I need to start packing because, you know, I know the time's going to go by really fast, but it's still a few months, and I'm like, I need to pack all my clothes, I need to pack my makeup, I need to pack all my filming stuff, because I do, you know, want to be able to film while I'm up there. You know, I'm still going to be trying to do this, so I'm actually going to be staying in my childhood bedroom, which is so weird. So I kind of feel like this is like some kind of like weird novel, you know, about the girl that goes home for the summer. Type of thing, and that kind of makes me laugh, you know, because I laugh about things. I use humor to me as a deflective thing. That is really pretty. So that is what we are doing. So it should be exciting. It's going to be weird to be in my old home and working in the town I grew up in, but it's kind of weird. Like, I didn't really, like, I lived there, but I didn't go to school there. I actually stayed in the school district for the prior county that I had lived in because I didn't want to change schools again. So I actually lived in this small town and nobody really knew me. I didn't really do anything. I didn't go to school there. So it was kind of nice. So it is going to be kind of weird going back up to this little town and working in this nursing home, but it's only 6 minutes from my parents' house. So I won't have much of a commute. I get to hang out with them, do dinner, and do all the things. So it's gonna be quite a bit of a change. I really like that. I think that looks really nice, actually. That applied really nice. I don't see a whole lot of the shift, obviously, but I always have a hard time seeing the shift on my eyes anyway. So anyhow, I thought it was gonna be fun. My sister lives there. So my sister, my nephews, obviously my brother-in-law, my best friend, her husband, and her 2 kids, they live there. So I have people that I'm going to be around that I don't normally get to always be around. I only get to see them when we go back and forth. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited. My best friend's so excited. I drive a Jeep, so she's like, oh my gosh, we're taking the doors off. So I was like thinking about my little chartreuse melt bag, and I was like, that's going to be so cute for the summertime. So that is why I'm trying to find some like goodness in this whole thing. I mean, again, I'm super thankful that I'm able to take this time to be with my mom and hang out, and I am able to see, you know, other people while I'm up there. So anyhow, you know, I'm gonna do a blue look, so I'm gonna go in with this color here. So I don't know. So, and then, so on top of that, I've been going back and forth, and then come to find out, like, they didn't want to give me the money I'm already making. They wanted me to take a pay cut But now because I'm leaving, they're like scrambling because they have no coverage, and they offered this ridiculous amount for a PRN PT to come in, and I'm like, but you wouldn't keep me at what I needed. But again, I'm a firm believer and everything happens for a reason for the most part, and that things are all going to work out the way they are meant to. So had they given me what I wanted, I probably never would have come to the decision to go to be with my mom for these next couple months. You know what I mean? So I know it all worked out, and it needed to happen to force me to push me to make this decision, because I wasn't thinking, I wasn't in that frame of mind. But I'm still kind of pissed. I'm like, really, you're gonna pay like this astronomical amount to a PRN PT? So it just kind of pissed me off, but it's okay. It is all right. I'm gonna go in with this color here. I just hope that when I come back, they figured out what they're doing, because apparently the building's being sold. They're hoping that a new company that's buying it is actually going to be in-house, and that things are going to change. So if I am considering going there full time, I'm hoping that there's going to be a change, but I'm also hoping that I'm going to have a job to come back to in August. So I'm going to be gone mid-May until mid-August. That is the plan. I mean, given that everything goes okay. I'm sure it will. I'm sure there's going to be something available, you know. I think I'm going to pick up this black out here. I don't know. I don't know if any of you have ever had to deal with anything dialysis related, but my poor parents, my mom especially, just, they looked so confused. My mom's 74, but my dad, he's my stepdad, but he raised me. He's 88, and he takes care of her. And just the whole thing with coming 3 days a week, and then they're like, oh, you could do dialysis at home, and I'm like, they're never going to be able to follow, you know, the sterilization process and all that. So home dialysis is not an option, and it's just so frustrating that they don't even, but I get it, it's the liability of doing it that no company really wants. So they don't even offer, like, there's no company, no nursing company or anything that's like, oh yeah, we'll come in and do your home dialysis, like set it up for you. Like that's not an option. And I get it, because there's a lot of risk with dialysis, so that's not an option. So for them to take her 3 days a week, and then her to sit there for 3 to 4 hours, which is probably like 3.5 to 4 hours to get the treatment, you know, it's a lot on her, it's a lot on them. And just, I think I'm mixing up my brushes here. I'm hoping that doesn't have black on it, because they're two very similar brushes. Just the look on my mom's face of even considering, like, she just looked like a deer in headlights, like looking at it. And then they're telling her how she'd have to go in and have, you know, surgery to get different ports put in, and what ports they might suggest, and this, that, and the other. It was a lot. And this color is really pretty, but it's super chunky, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it wet. And all my coworkers are at all my coworkers at both. So I ended up doing I know I'm a little all over the place. I ended up just saying that I was doing a leave of absence for the job that's further away with the outpatient clinic. I just asked for a leave of absence because I'm like, maybe over the summer they'll realize that whatever changes they're doing just aren't it, because a lot of people are quitting. A lot of therapists have quit, and I'm like, you're gonna run your outpatient clinic right into the ground. Like, nobody wants to get paid like this. Like, nobody wants to put up with this. So maybe within the 3 months that I'm gone, they'll change things, and maybe it'll go back to how it was, or even better. So I just put in for a leave of absence for them. I didn't fully like quit, but if it doesn't change, I probably will. I'm gonna go with this one here. before coming back, and then all of my coworkers at the closer job have been super supportive, and they're, you know, a lot of them, the women and the men, honestly, you know, I mean, my boss is a guy, and he, you know, he's like, you know, this is your home, blah blah blah. He's like, but I get it, and he's like, you always have a place here if you know, when you come back and you want to work here. So I just felt like that was really reassuring. So I know the time's gonna go so fast. I think I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting with this color. I think I was expecting a little more shimmer. It seems really, what does it seem? Don't want to say flat. Almost like a creamy matte, if you will. It's pretty, but I honestly really thought there was gonna be more like glitter shimmer to it. And then I think on the bottom I need to get a different, nope, I think this is the blue brush. I think I'm just going to take that blue and just do that underneath. Try not to make too much of a mess there. A little bit more of this color. I really like that, so I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna hop off and finish it up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here are the finished looks. I'll go ahead and close my eyes. I'll go ahead and cover one eye. Go ahead and cover the other eye. I'll go ahead and zoom out when we talk about it. So in the waterline over here, I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's use a fun color. Like, why not? So I absolutely love these. This is the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Liner, and this is in Fresh. I love all of these. These LA Girl liners are legit. I got them on sale. It was like buy two get one free, buy one get one free, whatever, and they're like $4.99 or something like that. So anyway, I love them. I haven't used one that I didn't like. And then under this eye, I used my all-time favorite pink. This is the ColourPop in Insomniac. And then for my lips, I used the lip combo that I have been using. This is the Dominique lip liner in Crush, and then I top that off with the Tarte lipstick in Beach Babe. Just a nice neutral nude lip. And then I went ahead and used my Beauty Bay liner. I wonder if I called this, I don't think I called this BH Cosmetics. I don't know, because they had one that looked like this, but this is my Beauty Bay liner that I got for free. I'm just using it up. I just went ahead and did just a little bit of a liner. Didn't even do a wing. And then I just threw on my Roller Lash mascara by Benefit just to finish it off. I was like, I don't want to do lashes tonight, because the last lashes I didn't have them on for too long, and then I had glue all up in my eyelash, so like my lid here was sticking to my upper lid. I like woke up the next day because I didn't get it all off, and I was like, what is happening? So anyway, that took me a minute to get all of that glue out. I really like it. I really do. I think everything applied nicely except that one purple that I was like, oh, that seems a little patchy. Purples are known to be notoriously like difficult, but I feel like at this point in time, makeup has evolved, that there are enough companies that have done nice purples. I feel like Melt's purples have greatly, vastly improved, that we shouldn't have like, oh, this is a patchy color, you know what I mean? But this is one of their newer palettes, so again, I don't know much about the brand. I don't know how long they've been around, you know, I don't know, so I can't wholeheartedly comment on that. But that is the only one that I didn't like, because I was like, oh, it is a little bit of a little patchy, it's not applying well. I love all the blues. I love this color in here. I actually love this color, this color, this color, and this color. So this color, and then these two colors. This one here is what's on the inner part here, and it actually is like more pink, because looking down at it, it has a shift too. All of them have a shift. I never see the shift. I don't know, when I go out here and I put my face in my husband, I'm like, do you see it? He might see it, but it's not like looking dead on that I can see that shift like I would looking down in the palette and turning it. But all of them have a shift to them. I really like them. I like how everything applied. I can't wait to play with this a little bit more. So I do. I like that. I'm really liking Nomad so far. If you have any suggestions on the other palettes, or if you want to see one of the other palettes that I showed you, just leave a comment below. If you have this palette and you love it, you know, tell me about it. If you have this palette you hate it, let's talk about that too. I love talking to you guys. I love interacting. I'm glad I could fill you guys in. Again, I know it's a sad situation, but I'm trying to make the best of it, and, you know, trying to stay positive, because, you know, it just, there's a lot of mixed emotions depending on which way I think about it. And I think that's with, you know, anything that you go through or do. I am kind of like, I have a week and a half. I haven't packed a single thing. I have a list though. So if you have any suggestions for how to pack for going away for 3 months. I mean, I am going to come home. There is a concert I'm going to in July, so I do know I'm coming home for that. So I know I can switch some stuff out. But to get me started, I want to go up and at least have a good 6 weeks worth of stuff. So I'm going to have to take clothes, work stuff, you know, like my normal things. I got to figure out what makeup to take. And I think this is my biggest thing, is like trying to figure out, because I'm going to be doing videos like, what eyeliners do I take? I cannot take all this makeup. So I'm going to have to really condense it. I'm going to have to do, you know, the bare minimum that I can get away with, because I'm going to have to pack my lights and all of that stuff. My parents are going to be like, what the hell? What are you doing? Anyway, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. I'm excited for them to spend time with the kids and all of that. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. I'm glad I was able to update you. It'll be good. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna be able to really take my mom out and do things with her. Last time I was there, she wanted to go to Ulta, which was so exciting, and she had her cash, and she was like flinging her cash around in the car, and I was like, where'd you get all that from? Like, she's funny. Like, I love my mom so much. She's so dang funny. I'm the youngest of 5, so I'm the baby, so I'm the favorite. So anyway, I appreciate all of you. I hope all of you are well. Love on and hug your loved ones. Just let them know, because, you know, anyway, we're not going to get into all that. I don't want to make this all sad. So anyway, just hope all of you are well, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or evening or whenever you're watching this.